Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
Dear Lord, the battles go through life.
We ask for a chance is fair.
We ask for a chance is fair.
Chance to equal our stripes.
Chance to equal our stripes.
Chance to do it there.
Chance to do it there.
We should win.
We should win.
Let it be by the code.
Let it be by the code.
Faith and honor held high.
Faith and honor held high.
We should lose.
We should lose.
Stand by the road.
Stand by the road.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Day by day.
Day by day.
We get better and better.
We get better and better.
Till we can't beat beat.
Till we can't beat beat.
Won't beat beat.
Won't beat beat.
Football fans, it's National Pro Highlights time again. And look at that snow. Join me for a trip around the circuit for all the big National Football League games on the most exciting new development on the American sports scene came to life in 1960 with the birth of the American Football League.
Cam is beside himself. I got news for you. We're going to win the game, I guarantee.
This has got to be one of the greatest football games I've ever seen, Paul.
Ever club one on them?
This is the story of a love affair. The story of the Denver Broncos and their days in the American Football League.
You can get it done. You can get it done. What's more, you gotta get it done.
In 1960, the NFL got some unexpected competition from the American Football League, or the AFL. Originally, the NFL did not take the AFL serious. In fact, they said,
I am the National Football League, and you're not.
And
it was 10 years of us versus them.
But the AFL's young players, coaches, and minds soon began to challenge the NFL. The main reason the AFL could compete with the NFL was the NFL did not broadcast home games in the team's home city, allowing the AFL to broadcast games in those cities. They would watch the only game they could. The AFL also had multiple cameras to give different angles for the TV viewers, while the NFL used one stationary camera in the middle of the field.
With the AFL because it was brand new and they were willing to almost let us do anything to do some things that we probably couldn't have done if we had had the NFL at that time. And so we were trying to get inside the game and have people at home have the real experience, what it was like to be on the field and how hard these guys hit each other and how fast they were and all the rest of it.
The competition and so-called war between the two leagues started when the NFL's Giants signed the former AFL kicker Pete Goldaway.
Back in the old country, they said, if you do well, you can ask for it. You can't be ashamed to ask for a raise. But the Bills wouldn't give it to me. So I became a free agent, and the Giants signed me. I didn't realize that this really created a war between the two leagues.
The two leagues then began to offer more and more money to players of teams in other leagues. If the leagues continued to fight like this, many teams would go under because of the huge amounts of money being spent to steal players. As the rivalry between the leagues intensified, both leagues entered into a massive bidding war over top college prospects, paying huge amounts of money to unproven rookies in order to outbid each other for the best players coming out of college.
There was in Los Angeles Coliseum today enough pageantry and color for a coronation.
The weekend before the draft, invite the player out to dinner and more or less kidnap him, essentially trying to keep that player away from the AFL representative.
Each team was spending so much money on players that the teams began to lose money, and ultimately the competition between the two leagues was killing both leagues.
We were destroying each other. We had to do something about it.
Both leagues knew something had to be done to keep the two leagues from running each other out of business. The leagues discussed many different compromises they can make, but the NFL refused to believe the AFL was good enough to compete with them. until the Jets beat the Colts in the third AFL vs. NFL game, now called the Super Bowl.
The game is over. The New York Jets are the world champions. They have upset the Baltimore Colts.
It's pretty fantastic. It's a beautiful trophy, and it really is a satisfying conclusion to the 10 years of the American Football League.
Al Davis, the owner of the AFL, did want some type of compromise, but he did not want the merger. But Chiefs owner Lamar Hunt and Cowboys owner Tex Graham met at the Dallas airport and set up the merger behind Davis's back.
Now, it's one of those great ideas that has lasted the test of time, and it's only grown greater as it's gone on.
It's become sort of an American fair. People who don't know a football from a hockey puck will watch the Super Bowl.
The merger is considered one of the best business moves ever made. The NFL Network considers the NFL-AFL merger the #1 thing that changed the game of football and made it the way it is today. The AFL's way of broadcasting games and the NFL's rules of the game combined to create an unstoppable dynasty of a football league.